We're going to start by working on what the research has shown to be number one in terms of impact on your performance, and that's your self-confidence. The research shows that nothing is going to impact the way you play more than your self-confidence. So it really doesn't make sense to start with anything other than self-confidence. But most of us haven't been taught how to work on our self-confidence. And you may have even found yourself in the position to where you didn't really need to work on it. When we're younger, we tend to have a lot of people cheering for us and telling us how great we are. So we can kind of get away with being hard on ourselves and being quick to move on from our wins. But as we get into the higher and higher levels of competition, and that competition gets harder, there are less people clapping for us. And our self-confidence can really take a hit. I have so many young athletes come to me and say, well, I used to feel so confident. I never even questioned whether I was good. I played with no fear. But now I feel like I've lost that, and I just don't know how to get it back. The good news is that I'm going to teach you exactly how to build that self-confidence. As someone who pushes yourself to improve in your sport and expects a lot of yourself, we tend to be really quick to brush off what we do well as, well, that's just what I expect of myself. Or, okay, great, but now I need to move on to what's next. Over time, this is diminishing your self-confidence. So we're going to start by being intentional about recognizing done wells, specifically 3 each day. I want you to start by writing down 3 things you did well in the last 24 hours. So for example, I made it to practice a little bit early, or I did a great job making the corrections from the coach, or I had a great play on offense, or I drank enough water today. I got good sleep. I spent less time on my phone. I wanted to quit, but I didn't. It's so simple, but recognizing the little things you're doing well each day is one of the fastest ways you can start building self-confidence. And remember, building self-confidence is the fastest way to increase performance. Now, when during the day can you do this? Just write down on a piece of paper 3 things you did well in the last 24 hours. Can you do it right when you finish practice in the locker room? Or first thing when you get in the car on your way home from practice? Right before bed? Keep a piece of paper on your nightstand. It doesn't matter when you do it, but I want you to decide now and set some sort of a reminder to do it. I want you to do this every day you have practice or a game or competition. Now, if that doesn't work out to at least 4 or 5 days a week, I want you to build in a couple extra days so that you can hit that 4 or 5 days per week. If you have practice or a game 6 days a week, I want you doing these done well 6 days a week. You may find that this is difficult at first. In fact, a lot of people struggle with this at first because we're pretty good at shrugging off what we do well quickly. But remember that the harder this is for you, the more important it is that you're doing it each day. You may not feel any differently when you do it. And you really won't want to do it on the days that you don't feel like you had a great practice or a great game. But forcing yourself to do it every day you practice or play will be like putting pennies into your piggy bank of self-confidence over time. This will pay you back big time. I want you to spend the next week implementing writing down 3 done wells that you did in the last 24 hours. Now, I'll see you in the next lesson where we'll build on this to start teaching yourself to push toward improvement, not perfection.